Salam sejahtera, madam. So today I would like to present about our testing application, which is book John web app testing. So before I presenting about our testing procedure, so let me introduce about my group member first. So we are come from the group 6. So our group member is Liow Shi Jie, Cheng Yi, Jun Liang, and me, Stuart Por. So my matric number is 254420. So our uh, our testing application is BookZone. So BookZone is an online book reselling portal for users to buy or sell secondhand book and get recommendations of books for a particular subject. So BookZone is a user-friendly and easy to navigate website. So the objective of we conducting this testing is first to define how the test will be conducted. Second, to find defects and flaws which may get created by the programmer while developing the software. The third one is to evaluate the potential of the system performance. Fourth, to measure the quality of the system. And the last one is to ensure the system meets both the user and business requirements. So here's are the main functionalities of our system. So the first functionalities is login. So the fields that required in this function is username and password. Then the second function is register. So the required fields is username, password, confirm password, email, first name, middle name, last name, city, pin code, country, and contact. So there are about 11 fields in this function. So the third function is add book function. So it allows the seller to add the book, and the book after the seller successfully adding the book, then the book will be posted into the homepage to allow the buyer to look at the book and buy the book. So the fields that included in this function is International Standard Book Number, which abbreviation ISBN. And the second one, author, book name, about author, language, publisher, selling price, original price, subject, edition, page number, and book description. There is about 12 fields in this function. And the last function is edit profile. So this function is allowed no matter the bookseller or book buyer to edit their personal information. So the fields that contain this function contains the fields such as flat number, area, contact number, city, pin code, old password, new password, and confirm password. So there is about 8 fields in this function. So now I will present about the test plan. So the first one is the test plan identifier. So as we know that test plan identifier is identify the project and may contain version information. So for this case, we are using master test plan as our test plan identifier. So this document is set for a testing framework for the BookZone. So this project is involved the development of a BookZone that is developed in HTML, JavaScript, and PHP. So to achieve the functional testing, a black box testing technique will be employed using this equivalence partitioning method. So by using this technique, it will enable the designing of the test case that is validate the correctness of the BookZone with respect to testing requirements, specification, and use cases. So the test item, so the system is to be tested included the front-end user-facing website only. So the system should be tested in the Chrome with the version of 83.0 or Internet Explorer 10 and 11 version, Firefox version 54.0, or Safari 12.1 version. So the system should be tested on both a Mac machine and Windows. So the feature that needed to be tested for a user role that he or she need to register an account first in order to access all the function in the bootstrap application. So after he or she register an account and verify his account, so he or she need to log into the system first. So after successfully log into the system, they may search for the book that are required. So other than that, he or she can update their profile or change password and log out from the application. So the approach that we'll be using in this testing is Selenium. So Selenium is a free and open source browser automation library. Usually this Selenium is used by millions of people for testing purpose, as well as this is an automation of repetitive web-based administrative tasks. So the test will be executed when the testers enter the project name and the system URL and then click start recording. So after the whole process of the testing is completed, so the Selenium will mark each case with the word success or fail. So if the case is failed, Selenium will show the result of the case failed. So the tester could review the test by replaying the recording. So the next one is the criteria of item for an item pass or fail. So output for the testing process will be used for comparison between the actual result and the expected result. So the test case will only be counted if if the actual result match the expected result. So it will be considered as success. So if the actual result does not match the expected result after execution, so the test case will be counted as failure and the actual result will be logged into the test results. Factor of the failures can be determined from the test case, expected results, or the data in the test environment. So the testing process will only be terminated or forced to stop if the system is not available. So for example, if the internet connection cannot be connected during the testing process, so the web page cannot be reached and therefore the testing will be terminated. And the testing will continue to carry on once the system is able to access. So in this testing, in this software testing, there is a few deliverables will be produced. So the first one is the test plan, which is this document, and the second one is system testing result will be presented later, and the last one is the final report. After we conducting all the testing, and we'll gather the data and combine it into one final report, which will include all the data of our testing. So the test plan is prepared before the testing starts. So it is used to determine which fields will be tested during the testing process. So once the system testing result is gathered, so it will be delivered to show the actual output of the system. And the last one is the final report will compile and summarize all the test cases executed and the results of the testing exercises. So the problems or defects found during the testing process will be lodged in the test result with a reference to when the defect was uncovered and the step to reproduce the output. So the next one is the testing task. So the first one is the software testing process. So whenever we start to the testing, so we need to have a test strategy and a test plan. So the purpose of this test strategy and the test plan is to identify the requirements to be focused for test. The second one is to determine the tools. The one is schedule the test, and the last one is to generate. After we have completed the three requirements above, so we will generate a test plan. The next one is test design. So the test design is to identify and describe a test case. So the third one is test execution. So in this test execution, we will execute the test and test all the function and the test cases listed in the test plan. And the last one is test closure. So all the cases should be finished testing. So minimum there is about 90% minimum passes rate is the best practice. So and the last one is this most important one, which is all defects and problems should be found out and fixed. So the environment needed in this testing will be categorized into two categories, which is hardware and software, and will be categorized into three categories. So which is hardware, software, and testing tool and environments. So the first one is hardware. So the hardware that will be needed in this testing is either a desktop computer or laptop with an internet connection. So the second one is software. So the software that needed in this testing is the most important one is internet browser. Either we can use Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari. And the Selenium automated testing tools is a must. The third one, testing tools and environment. So the testing will be conducted in the following requirements. So the first priority is the Google Chrome with the version of 83.0, and the second priority is the Firefox 54.0.1. So the other tools that will be using in this testing is XAMPP to create the localhost and the Selenium web automated tools. So there is two responsibilities, two roles will be different by their jobs. So the developer will be in charge of develop the prototype and develop functional and non-functional use case. And the tester will be prepare a test case based on the testing subject. And then he or she will conduct a testing based on the test cases. After that, record the test result. So the staffing and the training needs is more than one tester will be needed in this testing to ensure the result is accurate. So the testing will be conducted by all testers based on the same test cases. So this is the schedule of we conducting the testing procedure. So the first deliverer is test plan. So this test plan we are required to have 10 days time to complete. So our plan that started is 2nd of March, and the date we completed for this test plan is 11th of March. And the second one is functional testing result. So we require 30 days in order to finish this testing. So our plan started date is 1st of May, and the date that we completed this testing is 30th of May. And the last one is the final result that require about 25 days to complete it. So the plan started date is 31st of May, when the date completed will be at 25th of June. So the next section is the risk and contingency. So every aspect that may cause loss in the future are counted as a risk. So it is very important that every risk should be identified and solved for every software project. So an accurate analysis of the software risk will help to plan the work effectively. So during the testing process, several risks and contingencies need to be considered. So the first one is team member lack of professional knowledge for testing. So the second one is lack of available tools. Third one is project cannot be completed on time, and the last one is lack of teamwork and cooperation among team members. So the last one is the approval section. So the test manager and the testing manager and the book zone manager both must agree on completion of the testing projects and determine when it's ready to proceed to the next step. So here is the test plan demonstration. So I will be passed the next session to the next member. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Liow Shi Jie, metric number 252911. So now I'm going to present the test case design of the boson. The first function of boson is login. So it contains two test fields which are username and password, and both test fields have a same valid partition, which is a combination of alphanumeric and no less or more than 6 characters. It means it can contain the alphabet A to Z, lowercase and uppercase, and also the number from 0 to 9. Next function is register, and it has many test fields. And the first test field is username, then password, confirm password, and these three test fields have a same valid partition, which is a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters. And the next one is the email text field, and it also have a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters, and this text field must contain @ and dot symbol, and it also allows the underscore. And then followed by the first name, middle name, and last name. These three text fields have a same valid partition, which is a combination of alphanumeric. And then the next text field is city. City have a valid partition of a combination of alphabet, and then pin code, a combination of numeric, no less or more than 5 characters, and country, also a combination of alphabet. And the last text field for the register function is contact. It has a valid partition of a combination of numeric and not less than 10 value. So the next function is addbook. The first text field is for the addbook is ISBN. So the valid partition of ISBN is a combination of numeric value, which means from 0 to 9. And next is author. So the author must have a combination of alphabet and cannot contain the numeric value. Then the next one is book name. Book name also have a combination of alphanumeric value and also cannot contain the numeric value. And the next is about authors. So about author have a valid partition of a combination of alphabet and from A to Z. And then the next text field is language and publisher. These two text fields can contain a combination of alphabet and cannot have a numeric value. Next one, selling price, can have a combination of numeric and cannot have string or symbols. Then original price, also a combination of numeric and cannot have string and symbols. Then the next one is subject, and then addition. These two text fields can have a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters, but it cannot have only string or numeric value. Then the next one is page number. Page number of course can only have a combination of numeric. Then the next one is book description. So this one can have a combination of alphabet, but cannot only have string numeric value. and numeric value and symbols. Then the next function for the boson is the edit profile. So the edit profile have a flat number, and it have a combination of numeric and then O password, a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters, and then the next one is new password, a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters. And then the next test field is the confirm password, a combination of alphanumeric, no less or more than 6 characters. Next one, city, and a combination of alphabet. Area, a combination of alphabet. And then the next test field is pin code, a combination of numeric, and contact, a combination of numeric. So that is the part of test case design. Then next I will pass to my team member to present the next part.
Cheng Yi, matrix number 253814. After my friend explained the test case design, now I will show the test case design in IEEE template. This is the test case for the register, and this test case is created by Stuart Por and reviewed by me, Cheng Yi. And this test case has 2 prerequisites and 11 test data. To complete the test case, there are 14 steps, and you can see all the steps in this test case are passed. This means the test case is successful. And this is the invalid input. Invalid input is this, and this is the valid input of the test case. This shows in which step and the data for the step. Now this is the test case for login, and this test case is created by Liow Shi Jie and reviewed by Jun Liang. And this test case has 3 prerequisites and 2 test data. And 5 steps to complete this test case, and this one is the data that input when test the system, and this is the invalid input, and you can see all is passed, which means this test case is passed. This test case is searching for a book, and the tester name is Liow Shi Jie and reviewed by Jun Liang. And also same 2 prerequisites and only 1 data for this test case, which are book title, and 3 steps to complete this test case, and the only data is the valid input. The input can be any data, a combination of A to Z, 0 to 9, special character space, and invalid is blank, so as this. And this is the test case of add new book. 4 prerequisites, 12 test data, and created by Jun Liang, reviewed by Stuart Por. And you can see all the steps is passed. Okay, this test case has 15 steps, and this is the valid data for the test case, and this is the invalid data. This is the test case of edit, and created by Cheng Yi with me and reviewed by Liow Shi Jie. And this test case has 4 prerequisites and 8 test data, and this test case also have 15 steps, and all is passed, which means this test case is passed. And this is the valid data, They had been input when test the system, and this is the invalid data. Now I will explain the Selenium testing that we had done. This is the register. Now we open the register page and you key in the data with same as the manual testing, and after that you click submit and register successfully. Now this is the login. There are 10 steps. You can see all is okay, which means all the steps is passed. The data also same with the data keyed in the manual testing. This one is the searching, and this one is add book. Add book has many test data, so the step of this is 32, and this also has many data. The step is 35. This is the test case for the edit the user profile and change the password. So comparison between Selenium testing and manual testing. Selenium testing need short time compared to manual testing. Manual testing need more long time compared to Selenium, because manual testing use the human power, but Selenium we just do anything in the web app and it will automatic test the system. And Selenium testing not allow random testing, but manual testing uh, allow the exploratory testing. And Selenium testing is more reliable and more accurate, because the result from the Selenium is generate automatic after we do anything in the web app, and the manual testing not accurate due to the possibility of human error. And Selenium testing can do multiple tests because it uses the system to test and automatic testing. And manual testing need to use human power, so need to do the testing one by one if only one tester. Thank you. That's all my presentation, and now I will pass to my friend to explain the rest of the project. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jun Liang and my metric number is 254229. So now I'm going to talk about suspension criteria and resumption requirements. So this testing process will only be terminated or forced to stop if the system is not available. For example, if the internet cannot be connected during the testing process, the web page cannot be reached, and therefore the testing will be terminated. So the testing will continue to carry on once the system is able to access. Test deliverables. So the following deliverables will be produced, which are test plan, system testing results, and final report. So first of all, the test plan is prepared before the testing starts. It is used to determine which field will be tested during the testing process. And then system testing results will be delivered upon finish of testing to show the actual output of the system. And finally, the final report will be combined and summarize all the test cases executed and the result of the testing exercise. The problems and defects found during the testing process will be logged into the test results with a reference to when the defect was uncovered and the steps to reproduce the output. Testing task. The software testing process. So there are four phases in this test process, which are test strategy and test plan, test design, test execution, and test closure. So first of all, in test strategy and test plan, we will identify the requirements to be focused for tests, determine the tools to be used, schedule the test, and generate the test plan for the testing. And then for the test design phase, we will identify and describe the test cases to be tested later. And in test execution, we execute the test and test all the functions and test cases listed in the test plan with any possibility input, and we will observe the output. As for the test closure, all test cases should be finished testing, and minimum 90% pass rate is the best practice. And all defects and problems should be found out and fixed in these phases. The environmental need. The hardware. The hardware resource need in this testing is computer or laptop with internet connections, and software, which is in any internet browsers such as Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox, and will use Selenium automated testing tools. The testing will be conducted in the following environment, which are Google Chrome and Firefox. And other tool we use in this testing is personal laptop, XAMPP, and Selenium web automated tools. Responsibilities. The responsibility for a developer is to develop the prototype and develop the functional and non-functional use case. As for the tester should prepare test case based on the testing subjects, and then conduct testing based on the test cases and record the test results. Staffing and training needs. So more than one tester will be needed in this testing, and the testing will be conducted by all testers based on the same test case to make sure that we get the answer correctly and accurately. Schedule. This is the schedule for our testing, which we set 10 days for test plan, 30 days for functional testing results, and 25 days for final reports. Risk and contingency. Every aspect that may cause loss in the future are counted as a risk. So it is important that every risk should be identified and solved for every software project. An accurate analysis of the software risk will help to plan the work effectively. So during this testing process, there are several risks and contingencies we need to consider. So which are the team members are lack of professional knowledge for testing, we are lack of available tools, and the project cannot be complete on time, and lack of teamwork and cooperation among team members are all the risks and contingency will taken into account. Approvals. So the test manager and work zone manager both must agree on completion of the testing project and determine when it is ready to proceed to the next step. That's all. Thank you.